back to the Roman Republic of the 269 BC. When you joined us last, I'd just taken Syracuse, or Syracuse, or whatever it is. It doesn't seem like much of an achievement, but I've increased the size of my empire by a third, which is, you know, not something that happens every day. I was lucky, actually, in that the Greeks moved out most of their garrison to the middle of a field somewhere. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. So the plan of action, to fall out with the Carthaginians. I think. I've got like a list of, I think it's a to-do list, I think. The Punic Wars actually started, the first Punic War started in 264 BC, so if I'm going to be historically accurate, I ought to wait a few turns. But I'm not going to be. Because the sooner you sort out Sicily, you know, the sooner you can think about the naval war with Carthage, which is what the first Punic War was, more or less. Fought over bits of Sicily, a little bit of battling in North Africa, but mainly it was a naval engagement for 20 years over this, like, straight over here.
Fleet ready!
So the plan of action is to upset the Carthaginians a little bit, try and pinch Sardinia, which was pinched off the Carthaginians after the first Punic War, without the Carthaginians really knowing about it. But I also thought, once I'd taken the whole Sicily, I might go on a little Greek adventure. Crete is a good place to take because you get Cretan archers, who are fantastic. In fact, I might go on an island hopping tour, because if you capture the Balearic Islands, you get Balearic slingers, who are also pretty nifty. And of course, there's Wonders of the World to pick up here. Colossus of Rhodes, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the Temple of Artemis, and well, I don't think I'm in a position to take the Great Lighthouse of the Pyramids, and certainly not in a position to take the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. But I can certainly make a grab for some Greek territories, because otherwise I'll go into Brutii hands, won't know what to do with them. I don't know quite what to do with... There's not much these places can do until I'm going to build some barracks. But what I can do with Capua is start training a few as starting. Also, what does a Shrine to Vulcan do? Upgrades light weapons. But Hastati, I've got heavy weapons. So, never mind about that plan. Anyway, let's move on to the next turn. The Senate mission signed. The Senate wants us to take Lilybaeum. Lilybaeum? I never did Latin. I just know a smattering, just to see me through. You succeeded with the unit of Triora, which is very useful.
At your service.
Let's see what's going on there. Okay, so it looks like I'm being quite lucky so far, insofar as they've not got any garrison there. They're supposed to have an army around here somewhere, but it's kind of hiding.
General.
Made money, which is nice. I'll get the boring stuff done out of the way and then we can have the battle. Fountain Neptune. You know what, Neptune can wait. Let's build some paved roads. Yeah. Bring us some trade income. Shrine to Vulcan. Now, one of these I think I might make a practice range out of. Or maybe a stables. What about the stables of Syracuse? No, they're busy building docks. I'll build a temple to Vulcan, because it's, you know, next to a volcano, which is of course where we get the term volcano from, Vulcan. Though that you could have guessed that really. And nobody's particularly happy to be in the Empire. Well, people in the Sana are, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, they've been taxed to the hilt and they still don't mind it. What have we got
Yes, Captain. Move to
over here?
Yes,
The Julie I haven't got involved yet, but the Senate are, for some reason. They're having a good wander around. For reasons that are best known to themselves. Some Astarte and Capua. And some pirates. Which is going to make things difficult.
Aye, Captain. Yes, Captain.
Right, that's that side of the way. Let's have a battle.
Imperator.
Leave the peasants at home.
Prepare for battle. Victory!
Well, they don't like me. Maybe if I hire some more peasants.
Orders.
Okay, let's leave some velites at home.
Splitting the troops. General. Orders.
Quintus Scipio, let's leave him at home.
Forward. General. Sir.
Let's leave some Astarte at home.
Splitting the troops.
To bring some
Onward.
out
Move
here.
out.
Oh, come on, you miserable. There we go. 70%. That won't revolt at 70%. We're fine.
Sir. Prepare for battle.
Okay, it's a 5-to-2 ratio. Same deal as last time, I think, if I implemented it. Just click somewhere outside of this region here, over here, to skip this battle, and we'll get straight into the campaign map. In the meantime, let's see what the Greeks have got to offer. Now this is a little bit how the First Punic War actually kicked off. Can't remember the details about it. Did I write them down?
Do
No, I
not
didn't.
fear these over-nice Greeks.
These
They have come to
over-nice
fight,
Greeks.
it is true, but they will only stay to die. They have been brought to the battlefield by muling infants instead of leaders. I have never yet lost a fight against these men. I have
You've
no
had one
intention of
battle.
starting today. So
It's
together,
right,
we will
technically,
gain
but...
another victory. And remember this.
Oh, shut up, you're getting on my nerves. Right. Group them all up into a pretty formation.
Infantry, first 3 lines.
And I don't fancy fighting in the woods, so I'll try and fight over here. Or they rather fancy fighting in the woods. Oh, okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there was a conflict of interest on the island of Sicily. One side appealed to the Carthaginians, and then instead of and halfway through broke the deal with the Carthaginians to appeal to the Romans. So the other side, there's these two factions that were warring, sided with the Carthaginians. So now the Carthaginians and the Romans ended up being at war. There's a massively simplified way of describing the outbreak of the First Punic Wars in 264. Yeah, it was largely a naval conflict, and at the time, Roman legionaries were pretty good, smashing. But the Roman navy wasn't, and the Carthaginian navy was heaps better. Until they developed a tactic of adding basically a hook onto the ships so Roman ships could connect to the Carthaginian ships, and the legions could cross over onto the boats and have basically a land battle from sea. Those archers. Archers, peltasts. This really isn't a significant battle. I don't know about wasting some time on it. So everybody feel free to fire at will. You know, make use of the pirate.
At will. Units, fire! At will. Units.
the general run over there and give him something to think about. Yeah, that's given them something to think about, hasn't it? Yeah. Feel that, you pipe and smoke it. Don't run into the spears. Yeah, eat hot lead. What's going on? Oh, they're attacking the filter. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I kind of lost control of the battle, and it's only a small one. Right, they're running away, that's fine. I'm happy with that. And now they're firing pilot at formations, which is a really, it's a clever invention. That's a Roman one. It was used by Spanish, what's the word? Scutari, I think. And now that they're sort of weakened by being in a tight formation and javelins thrown, now the melee will begin. Well, I'm going to attack the flanks, just so you know, something to think about. Apparently the balance of forces is evenly matched. Now they can give those archers something to think about, without charging into the spears. I'm also making him nervous because he's got cavalry behind him. I'm a bit rusty on fighting these Romans, I'll be honest. I've been doing a lot of fighting with Carthaginians. This victory seems certain. Oh no, it doesn't. Rally the troops while you're at it. Victory is still almost a certainty. That's because they've turned the spears round. Okay, they're fighting to the death. That's probably not a good thing.
The enemy general flees! Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too!
And finally, we've broken the spirit. That's the important part of the battle, really, is hunting down as many men as you can. So the more men you fight, the less you have to fight them again in the future. Also, see if we can't chase down these archers, because they're really getting on my nerves. Shouldn't take long, they're pretty shook up. There we go.
The enemy army is in flight! Pursue them and drive them from
Okay,
the
so it's not the most
battlefield.
glorious victory. I was bound to win it unless I was being massively incompetent. But it's useful because it's got rid of all the Greek presence on the island. Assuming I can chase down all these elements. It's fleeing elements. Yeah, you look lively and chase somebody down. Now, rearrange yourself into as wide a formation as possible because apparently that helps. What else have we got to say? Oh, may as well talk about Rome 2, since I finally did some research on it last night, because I realised I'd started my last video saying I didn't know anything about it. It's coming out 3rd of September. I think that's just a worldwide release. You're going to have Roman factions, but the Roman faction will be more complex, including some senators, and ultimately leading to one man taking power, because that's a critical part of Rome's history. It went from being good Rome to bad Rome. If you like to extol Republican virtues. What the hell are you doing? Oh, I see what's doing. It's got confused. Because there were two hoplites, one there and one there, but they were in the middle, so they didn't know quick which one to chase. Hopefully they'll fix those kind of pathfindings in Rome 2. It'll have 8 playable factions.
Rome will be amazed at such a victory!
Yeah. More with downloadable content. I don't know how to feel about that. They've got the potential there for a lot of playable factions, but you have to pay for them. Whereas this game has 3 initial playable factions, and once you complete the game once, you have about 12, 13, 14 factions without paying any extra money. So that's a tad disappointing. Got a 32% chance they will open the gates. Move them there.
Out of move, sir.
Just hire some hoplites.
Sir! Sir!
How long did that take? Too long. Routed an army, smashing.
Aye, Captain.
Anyway, that's all I know about Rome 2, I think. Oh, the battles look nifty. Don't know if it'll run on my machine then. Especially considering... oh, hello.
Set sail! Leaving the army! All ashore! Waiting to ambush! Sir! Awaiting your command.
Yeah, considering that running fraps also takes some processing speed, so... I think that's why I tend to gravitate towards older games. Now let's skip you. Fine, have a tax break. Now, hopefully I can steal Carolis off the...
Ready to sail! General!
Noble master?
Carthaginians before the Julian I gets involved.
Leaving the troops. I shall speak with them at once.
6,165 denarii. Done.
Imperator!
Boom. It would have been cheaper to send an army there, but... yeah, he's wasted this time. So what have I bought? Yeah, it'll pay for itself in 12 turns. Can't believe it took me that long to work out 5 times. Oh, it was a division, wasn't it? 6,000 divided by 500.
Noble master?
Imperator!
Noble master?
Right, and with that,
Yes, Captain! No more moves, sir!
we'll go back and pick up the Hastati that are on the way. Pick up the Hastati, drop them off at Messana, so they get all trained up with, you know, weapons and armour and such, and then send them somewhere else.
General!
Yeah, I'm really suspicious. See what happens next turn. %32% chance. Oof. And what else have I... retrained Roman general with weapons.
Aye, Captain! Aye, aye, Captain! Sir! Sir!
And I don't like being Capua. Like I give a damn.
Moves depleted, sir! Sir!
supposed to have an army in there. Because I've played as Carthaginians before. There should be an army somewhere in Sicily, but I can't find it. Also, I think I've completely taken the wind out of the Julianized sails. Maybe not.
Imperator!
Come on, somebody open the gates for me.
Sir! Prepare for battle! Besieging settlements, sir!
Oh, rats.
Settlement under siege, sir!
Right, it's time to start thinking about a navy, I think.
Ready to sail! General, engage the enemy!
Huh. Oh, now he's opened the gates, now that now they've got a battering ram. What a stupid spy. Before I do,
Under siege, sir!
I'm going to check the messages. Made some money, built some roads. I guess it made a difference. Right, that's everything.
Fleet ready! Aye, aye, Captain!
Everybody's building something, and a few people are recruiting. I'm almost out of money. Oh, forgot about Carolus. Build the Lilybaeum. And look at that, that's the beauty of being Romans. Why they're so overpowered. You go to war with one person and all the other allies join in. No other alliance does that. I don't think. If you're attacked, then your ally gets involved. But as the Romans, if you attack somebody, they attack you.
Orders, prepare.
Anyway, here's another battle. Oh, this looks like a bit of a close run thing. Anyway, yeah, same deal as always. Click over here if you want to skip it. It looks like it could be quite interesting though. Especially since he's a better commander than Guy Scipio. Bobble car. And Ramshield cavalry. I'm glad I bought those hoplites now. Right, let us do this thing. Men of Athens, there is not much time for exhortation, but to the brave, a few words are as good as many. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Carthage's army stands in the field. They are not worth fearing. They die as easily as other men. Now let us offer up prayers, as all good men should do before they commit evil acts. Cleanse your soul, and the gods will armor you for the coming fight. It is they who will grant us victory!
Hooray! Not committing bad deeds, we're killing Carthaginians. That's fine, that's legit. Yeah, this looks like a better entranceway. There's less towers, but the town square is there. So in terms of not being a pain to navigate to, there's no such place. They're all pains to navigate to. I'll charge forward with the hoplites over there. A couple of Astarte over here, just to liven things up a bit. I think my general's going to stay here. This is going to be my main task force. You don't need that map anymore. Drop the ram! No need to shout. Let's see how this looks. Right, you're facing the wrong way, but apart from that... Let's get the general involved and everybody else as well. Everybody move forward. That's my move, what's his? He's going to stand there. Well, that's boring. And so is all this manoeuvring. I've forgotten the hotkeys to change speed, so that's a little irritating. Like heated battle, somebody charges towards you and you've got to reach your mouse down there and click on the right button. It's quite difficult to do in a heated battle. Oh, what else have I got to talk about? Oh, I might as well talk about the Punic Wars while I'm here. Yeah, the first one was from 264 to 241. Roman victory. I think they all were, but Carthage gave them a run for the money for 20 years. Beat them on sea for half of that. And then the Romans adapted. 241, they were defeated, had to give up Sicily, Sicilian territories, along with reparations. In 238, the Carthaginians had a mercenary war with the mercenaries that they'd hired and then never got around to paying.
Our soldiers have captured the walls! Now is the time to press on and capture
during
this
that
place.
mercenary war, the Romans just grabbed hold of Sardinia and Corsica and said, now what are you going to do about it? You want to fight about it? And the Carthaginians said no, because they'd already been beaten. Reparations and such like. They got their act together again in the next 20 years. And in 218, the Second Punic War broke out. I can't remember what the causes were, but that's the famous one, the one that involves Hannibal crossing the Alps, which had to do because the Romans had control of the seas at that point. Carthage never regained sort of naval dominance. So Hannibal sort of takes the army across Spain, over the Alps, completely unexpected, thrashes the Roman army at Lake Trastamara, thrashes them again at somewhere else, and thrashes them again at Carrhae, and then couldn't get anywhere else. He was trapped in Italy because all the cities wouldn't let him in, and every time he tried to take one city, the other one would rise up and sort of. He didn't have the forces with him to take Rome, so they just held on until eventually we got wound. The war started to wind down, and his brother Hasdrubal tried to send a relief force again over Spain, but this time they got wise to it, and Publius Quintus Scipio. I don't know if it's his actual name, but it's Scipio, who would later become Africanus, managed to beat him in Spain. So the reinforcements weren't coming, and Hannibal had to return with his tail between his legs. Exceeding defeat and all the rest of it. How do I get to the town square? There's no roads to it. Oh wait, there's one. Now I've learned from experience that the best way to do this kind of thing is just force as many troops into the area as possible. Don't try and be clever sending one after the other after the other. It just doesn't work like that. Despite sort of in 201 BC, losing to the Romans again, this time losing stripped of most of their colonies, if not all of their colonies, and being forced into an absolute submission, reparations, huge reparations, to make the Treaty of Versailles look quite magnanimous. Carthage recovers. It has something of a peace dividend in it, I imagine. Something that's quite useful, and it's forgotten when people talk about the Treaty of Versailles nipping over to the First World War for a brief thing. Well, the Romans benefited from having their army limited to only 100,000 men. the defence spending just was cut immensely, and that was like could lead to like tax cuts or spending on other things, social programmes. Downside was that the Germans didn't then have an army to fight down street gangs such as the Nazis and communists, Bolsheviks and the like. So the good news is you had the peace dividend to not pay, because you didn't have any troops to pay, and you couldn't build any big battleships. Only heavy cruisers. Downside is that you didn't have control of the country anymore. You have control of Germany, that's what I was thinking of. Anyway, something similar happened with the Carthaginians. They realised they were beat, had to cut back on the military. They then had problems with the Numidians, who, well, across later, once they actually crossed into Africa. They had no forces of their own to sort out the Numidians, so they had to deal through the Romans to deal with the Numidians. But the trouble was the Numidians were a Roman client state, so every time there was an arbitration, the Romans, without fail, came out in favour of Numidians. This was a little bit irritating. Still, the Carthaginians lived with it until Cato the Elder visited Carthage, saw how prosperous they had become, how much of a danger they could become, and then was guaranteed from that point on to try and finish off the Carthaginians. It's that famous thing that he did. Every single speech that he made, no matter what it was about, ended with the phrase "Ceterum sensu Carthaginian delendum," or "Carthago delenda est," as it's more known. Carthage must be destroyed. Every speech, it could be a monetary policy or, a local affair, but oh, and I also think Carthage should be destroyed. The Romans started being provocative in a sort of foreign policy similar to neoconservative America, or Britain during the height of empire. If they wanted a war, they would get one. So they forced the Carthaginians to give up 500 children of noble families to be held as hostage for Carthaginian good behaviour. The Carthaginians, knowing they couldn't fight, said, "Fine, nothing we can do." Handed them over. The Romans then said, "Okay, but now you've got to disarm yourself completely. Anything that could be construed as a weapon must be destroyed." It's like, well, we can't fight them now, but if we give up our weapons, we can't fight them later. But they said, yes, because there's nothing we can do. So the Romans were getting pretty annoyed at this point, realising that the Carthaginians were just giving in. There was no excuse for war. They said, we don't like the way your trading empire is going, being as it's naval-based. Carthage is near the sea, so what you must do is take apart Carthage brick by brick and move it inshore by several miles. This was just an impossibility. So Carthaginians they had to refuse. They couldn't do it. First of all, if they did manage it, it would ruin them. The effort and expense would be too much. And hold on a second, let's bring these archers forward. Yeah, something like that. So they, in the end, they said, we just can't do it. And then the Romans turned around and said, aha, look at the Carthaginians, they're not willing to do it. That's casus belli, of course, from what bit of Latin there. And the Third Punic War, from 149 to 146, you notice that this is substantially shorter than the previous two, which lasted about 18 years and 20 years respectively. 3 years, essentially a siege of Carthage. The rest of Africa was theirs, all the colonies were Roman at that point. The rest of Africa was Roman at that point. The seas were Roman, Sicily was Roman. So they just sieged Carthage, and the Carthaginians used every trick in the book to try to hold on to the city. It became a city under siege.
Units, attack!
Whoa, no, you attack. Let's try and lure them forward a bit. No, nothing? Oh, let's bring the general out. He needs to be there to encourage the men. So it's basically a 3-year-long siege of Carthage. The Carthaginians like smelted their own weapons from like what they could find in the city of Carthage.
Mercenary hoplite. Destroy them!
So you rally the troops. I don't want them breaking. So I don't know quite how that works. When I charge into some hoplites with cavalry, they get destroyed. When they do it, my hoplites get destroyed. They were my ace in the hole, they were. Still, they've been trapped into infantry fighting now. And one thing cavalry can't do is infantry fighting. The main bonus of cavalry is their manoeuvrability. Now, you can't be very manoeuvrable. Yeah, I want that general out of the way. I don't want him dying. Fire some pilot at them, try to, you know. The general bodyguards are just so tough. I thought that the hoplites would hold them back for sure. It's what they're designed to do. Rally the troops while you run away. Down to 30. That's it, throw some piler at them. They even have started running away now. It wasn't the glorious victory I was imagining it to be. Oh, fire on them. Can't let me jumble die, for God's sake. 9, 7. Well, he's running away and that's something. Gotcha! Bubble car, got it. Right, I need you to fire into the back of the general bodyguards. Oh, and rally the troops as well. It's 947. God, every single man of theirs is like worth 5 of mine. Okay, retreat. Oh, now an upgrade as well. They've got some experience from slaughtering so many Romans. And we were saying, oh yeah, the Carthaginians got extremely inventive holding back Romans. So like made catapults with using like hair as string, and like started throwing roof tiles down at passing troops. Okay, they're down to 16.
The enemy
30.
king is fleeing! This is
Fleeing?
truly a great day
Oh, no,
for
you
Rome!
Gotcha!
The enemy king lies dead at his
Bang!
feet. Now is the time to strike hard at his grieving subjects.
Alright, wait to fire as many missiles as you can then. Don't admire his spirit, I suppose. In the end, it just wasn't enough for the Carthaginians. They held back as long as they could for 3 years, but their numbers weren't on their side. Everything just wasn't on their side. They'd already given everything up in their sort of reparations and demands by Rome. And after all that, they just folded, couldn't compete, and Rome, as we all know now, razed Carthage to the ground. To this day, nobody knows where ancient Carthage actually was. Exactly. We can say it was in North Africa. They razed the city, enslaved the people, relocated the people, and then sowed salt into the ground so that nothing would grow there again, and it returned to the desert. Come and get me. Come at me. I was expecting a bit more than that. Oh, round-shield cavalry are useless. I can tell you that from experience. Not personal experience, but they're useful for sort of lightweight and manoeuvring, but in city situations such as this, no, not so much. Even Hastati can beat me, and they're light infantry with gladiuses. I mean, how do you attack a horse with?
The gods be praised! The enemy's hearts are full of
how do you attack
fear,
a horse
and
with a
now
short
they
sword?
flee.
I don't know. Anyway, what I would usually do is continue battle, but being as it's a siege, they just surrender. There's nowhere for them to run off. So,
your victory could not have been in more doubt, and yet the gods finally smiled on your efforts.
Oh, disappointing. Close victory. Still, you got to take the bitter with the sweet. Well, what I could do is I could re-record it, and could possibly have done better just leaving it to the autocomplete.
Victory! This land is Roman!
I don't have enough there to control the place. Oh wait, turns out I did. Okay, no port. Can't even afford to hire peasants. Build some roads. I'm Roman, we build roads.
Aye, Captain.
Anyway, with that, rather disappointing episode, yeah. I've captured Sicily, hurrah! And I've also filled you in on the workings of the Punic Wars. I think if I just focused on one or the other, if I just told you about the Punic Wars, or I just concentrated on the battle, I might have done better with both of them, either of them. Pick one, but not doing both. That was a terrible battle, and I apologise to all concerned, to the 500 dead, and all the rest of it. Yeah, my apologies. My bad. Mea culpa. I'm sorry. Mea culpa. Yeah, that's a bit Latin for you. Anyway, yeah, on that Latin note. Oh, got some triarii. Triarii. Root. They are the best of the best. They're the best. Well, not the best of the best of the best, but the best of the best. At the moment. There you are. Heavy spearmen make up the third and most senior part of the Roman legion. Yeah. You can read it in your own terms. Anyway, on that, I will... not that pleasant enough ending. I'll stop it now, and you will join me next time when we'll put Carthage under siege and then head to Greece. It's decided. That's a policy initiative right there. And that I will see you guys later. Oh hey, I forgot to mention, talking of Carthaginians, I've been working on my single-player Carthaginian game, which, funnily enough, is going a lot better than this online Let's Play. Click below to have a look at my new Carthaginian empire. Spoiler alert, I actually ended up winning the game. That's quite a big spoiler, isn't it? Never mind. Anyway, yeah, with that done, I'll leave you to it. See you later.